Hello algebra students, welcome back again. We're doing part 2 of our 3.1 guided notes, graphing and writing inequalities with one variable. We're going to be adding in less than or equal to and greater than or equal to today. So it's going to be a lot of the same kind of practice. It's going to be a lot of the same ideas. We're just going to kind of go at it for a little bit different and add one more small thing into it. So let's look at our first example here. We're just graphing the inequalities. That's all we're doing. I'm just going to do my 5 minus 2 right off the bat. I know that a is less than 3. Remember that you can always do it on the giant number line if that makes more sense to you. That is perfectly fine. You can also do it the shortened version, and I'll show you that here in just a second. A is less than 3. Since it's just less than, I'm just putting an open circle. And I'm showing that it's less than by drawing my line down with an arrow. You can always do the or and show it the other way as well, putting our value in the middle and a number that's lower and a number that's higher. Doing our open circle and showing that A is less than 3. If we look at this sign here, this sign means that it is greater than or equal to. When we have a line underneath our value like that, instead of putting an open circle down, we are going to need to include a closed circle. Just give me one moment and I'll show you what that is like. Again, I'm putting it at my value. Instead of having an open, because it's greater than or equal to, when I have that line underneath, I know that it needs to be a closed circle. Okay? Whenever we see this line underneath, it needs to be a closed circle. R is large, greater than or equal to 22. So that means it's bigger or equal to, so I'm going to draw my arrow up. You can also go like this if you're struggling to see it. Kind of shows you a little bit that way. Okay. We go down to our next part of our example. I have things going on both sides of my equation. I'm going to get rid of that multiplication right off the bat. That way I just know what it is on that side. W plus 16 is less than or equal to 2 times 8. 2 times 8 is 16. W plus 16 is less than or equal to 16. I need to get rid of the 16 next to the W, so that way the W is all by itself. W is less than or equal to 0. And this is important when we have 0 in this because we still need to include 0. We write it out on our number line here. I'll put it at my 0. I notice that it has a line underneath, so I need to include the 0 because it's less than or equal to. Since it's less than 0, we are having it go to our left to show that it's less than. You can always do the other way as well. As being 0, negative 1, and 1. Doing a closed circle and going down. 2 different ways that you can show it. If you flip your packet, we're going to go to example 2 on the back side of that page. Example 2 looks like this. Now I have some things going on in this equation, and I have lots I need to do. We're going to follow PEMDAS to get this side finished off first, so let's do that here. If I do 2a is greater than 6 minus 2, I know gives me 4. 3 times 4 I know gives me 12. 2a is greater than 12. I divide by my 2 to get a all by itself to undo the multiplication. A is greater than 6. If I write it out on my number line now, I don't have a line underneath, so it's just greater than. So I don't have to worry about having a closed circle. Or we can always do it our other method as well. putting our value down, a number that's higher, a number that's lower. Open circle, because it does not have the line underneath for equal to. And draw my arrow. We go on down to our example 3 section, down here at the bottom. I'm going to solve this for x again, okay? When I do that, I see that I have a closed circle, so that means it's greater than or equal to or less than or equal to. Since it's going to the left, it's showing me that x is smaller than the number that is given. The number I'm looking at is -1. That means that x is less than -1. So I'm showing that less is smaller than -1 this way. I put my line underneath because this is a closed circle. So it's showing less than -1. So I can always write this out as x is less than or equal to -1. I write it out that way because less than or equal to, since it's a closed circle. We go on down to example number 3. I have my x. My value I'm looking at is 1. Since it's going to the right this time, and I see a closed circle, I'm saying that x is greater than or equal to 1. Greater than or equal to 1. So if we write this one out, x is greater than or equal to 1. Then in your practice problems today, you have, well, the numbers got a little mixed up on this, but that's okay. B through E, which you just have to write the inequality in terms of words. You need to graph I through L here, making sure we're paying attention to if it's greater than or equal to, or less than or equal to, or just greater than, or just less than. And then just writing these inequalities out, just like we did in example 3. When that's finished, please make sure that your name is at the top of your packet in order for you to receive credit for it, and then it goes back in your red folder in order for it to go back to school on the Monday material swap next week on December 7th. If you guys have questions, comments, or concerns, make sure you rejoin the Google Meets or send me an email if it's outside of class hours. Thanks, guys.